So this is the Xbox Play Anywhere list of games. I've been looking very carefully at this, and I'm taking a very close look at what titles are here. And some of the titles, to be honest, are either older games, and I don't really see a lot of heavy hitters. I see some big hitters here, but I don't see a lot of heavy hitters. Now, as to the nature of the game, heavy hitter, AAA, whatever it is, like I've said, those are all measures that, people judge these games on from an arbitrary perspective. What I want to talk about here today is the nature of this Xbox Play Anywhere needs to be something that Xbox puts in front and center of their developers. Now, we understand that these developers would love to double dip. I saw a comment from an audience member saying, why would a developer want to put their game as a Play Anywhere title, if they want to encourage people to double dip? Here's the challenge, though, I see to that particular question. The challenge I see to that particular question is this is not the day and age for you to front. This is the day and age for you to move your value proposition a bit further. Does that make sense? Xbox is looking and saying, okay, our games right now are competing in the market with either our own games, like Call of Duty, or Fortnite, or PlayStation games, or other third-party games. How can we differentiate ourselves? So they've decided that you get multi-entitlements for every Xbox game that you purchase. I like that feeling. I like that value. It's a digital game. I buy digital games on Steam. I buy digital games on, good old games. But sometimes if I'm going to spend some good money, I'd like to get a extra entitlement that sets me apart, that sets that copy of the game apart from what I paid for it on Steam. So the double entitlement to me sounds good. And I'm a PC gamer. I have an Xbox that I got as a development kit. I don't use it much, but hey, nothing wrong in getting two versions of the game. Just like I discovered with Gotham Knights. Remember I told you guys a Gotham Knights story. I didn't even know I had two copies of the game when I bought the Xbox version for console. The only reason I bought it was because, the New Zealand thing. That's why. If not, I could have bought the PlayStation copy. It would not have bothered me. But the New Zealand thing was very nice. And I was like, man, this game, I've been looking forward to it. So I went ahead and got it. And I accidentally bought what I thought was probably one of the better versions of the game. Which to me is very impressive that I'm over here, like I said, whining about, oh man, this is an expensive copy. Not realizing that, man, this was actually the copy that I should have been gunning for, because I would have been able to do the New Zealand thing on my Xbox console, and then once the game launched on the other side of the pond, I could have shut off that Xbox console, fired the game up on PC, and immediately started playing and continued from where my progress was. And I would have had the opportunity to also be able to matchmake with people on Xbox and also matchmake with people on Steam and cross different platforms. That's one of the things that I'm talking about. So, where are we going to be able to see where there's room for improvement here? I think Xbox needs to, and this is going to get a little developy, I think Xbox needs to write an API. An API that would allow for the developers who already have access to Xbox's main development API that can allow for you to be able to get your games to work on their consoles and PC as well, that they write an API that basically encompasses all of the things that set both games apart in one fell swoop for developers. What I mean by that is, if a developer is saying, okay, I want to make my game for Xbox, right? And they open up the game engine. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a game engine interface where somebody actually extracts and exports a game for Xbox. There's a YouTube video that actually allows for that shows you that thing in real time. It's Unity. Somebody, let me show you the video right here real quick in real time. I'm sorry. Just bear with me. I need to pull it up so that you can see what I mean. You basically export Xbox games, and it will show you the options. It will show you all of it step by step. There's a video right here. It's a 14-minute video. It's how to build a Unity game on Xbox. It's basically what's called creating a package. Here it is. So this particular video here shows you how it's done, right? You select the package, you do all of this stuff, and then you basically go ahead and make a build for it, and it will be the Xbox build and the Xbox framework. and then you can install that into your Xbox and stuff. This person did it with the Xbox version from the Xbox One for a small game that they had basically put together. They were doing a tutorial on it. I think Xbox needs to have an API that allows for the developers to be able to immediately have that same copy of the game also go straight into being an Xbox PC game, so that the developers has an easy option to say, sure, I don't need to do any extra work. Once I'm porting for Xbox, the game can go straight through another API that would help to convert some things, some parameters into the Xbox PC version. I think that's going to give developers a very strong incentive to be able to get their games in front of people. Because like I said, this is not the market for anybody to be fronting about wanting anybody to double dip. It's a very, very risky proposition. You see, GTA 6 developers, Rockstar, what they don't realize is a lot of gamers have changed since the GTA 5 days. There are a lot more older people now that are looking forward to GTA 5. And the ones that are on PC and know that they will more than likely get the best experience on PC are going to sit there and wait. The double dipping, like the days where we were all young and foolish with our money, is an entire wishful thinking proposition out there. Why? Because over those years, those 10 years that they were making and cooking up the game, backlog was happening. And as backlog was going down, people were building their libraries. And now, at the point where if the game shows up, maybe they're asking the rumored $100, maybe they're saying there's no PC version, people are just going to fire up their Steam library and line up 5 games that they could not even finish for a year and just wait for GTA 6 to eventually come to their platform of choice. Because if they play on console, this is what many people are going to think about. And this is where Play Anywhere comes in very important. If they play on console, right, they're going to have to then go back and play on PC again and start all over their progress again. Many people don't have time for that. A lot of individuals do not have that kind of time. So that is expecting them to go ahead and make concession to basically play your game, and then you don't respect that time, and then you expect for them to go back and then play the game again. That's a very hard proposition to ask older gamers who 10 years ago were probably youngins or younger and could give you a little bit more of their time, to then be 10 years older and do the same thing. Behold, in that time, many of those gamers have either gone from boy to man, have children, or man to grandpa, have grandchildren and more obligations in their life. You guys are not looking at the gaming demographics as I am. I've been playing The Division for a long time, and I've always looked at the gaming demographics of that game. It was always surprising to me because everybody who played The Division, I met people who were 80 years old playing The Division, 60, 65, 50s, 40s. Then I was in my 20s when I started playing Tom Clancy's The Division. Now I'm in my 30s, but I remember meeting people in different age groups, and they were older than me. I used to ask them for life advice. I had my children, they were young, and I used to be like, okay, so what do you do in a situation like this? Division was not just a video game for me. Division was a life, experience in that regard. And so I started looking at the demographic. I'm like, who plays this game? Like, these guys are all dropping dimes. They're dropping wisdom here. What am I missing? And so I looked at my YouTube channel and I was like, oh my gosh, the gaming demographics is changing in real time. And the way we approach our games is very different. So again, GTA 6 has a huge burden, and it missing out on something like a Play Anywhere functionality, if you get what I mean, where you can just basically take your progress and go somewhere and all, I think is going to really shake up the market. And you guys are going to see how this whole trust and faith that people are putting in GTA 6 is going to really, really shock the gaming industry, how it may materialize differently. Now, I could be wrong. But I think Xbox can make that particular, piece of their technology to be able to support the developers in a way that makes that process seamless. It could be it's already a thing. I'm not yet, in the Xbox ecosystem. As a developer, I need to do some other things to basically go and put my application in. But I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a real, opportunity here that I'm seeing. But let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. Appreciate you all so much. Peace out.